to the river valley. They've just lost their severe criteria. The winds have died down a little bit, but there's still some 40 to 50 mile per hour winds coming right now into Van Buren and Fort Smith. It's a pretty healthy storm. The whole radar is active across both Arkansas and Oklahoma. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to zoom in for us as we watch this storm really hit us in Fort Smith, Van Buren. The rain has just now started in Fort Smith. Van Buren, we've had the rain for about 5, 10, 15 minutes or so. This is all diving towards the south and east right now. We've got a flash flood warning for much of the mountains. Remember, we've already had a lot of rain so far. The past 2 to 3 days, we've had several morning complexes. In northwest Arkansas, we're not getting all that much. We've got some good downpours in parts of Bentonville and Fayetteville, but the heaviest rain is really hitting us right now in the Fort Smith, Van Buren area, and then diving south into the rest of the river valley. I'm going to send it over to meteorologist Stephen Elmore. He's going to take a little bit closer look at this storm as it dives south and east.
Yeah, we've been tracking these storms all morning, and it's kind of been a complex system. We're going to take a look at the one just over, just moving into the Fort Smith area right now. Again, we've been seeing this severe thunderstorm moving. It's actually below its severe levels right now. This thunderstorm moving into the Fort Smith area over the past couple of hours. Now, way early this morning, we started to see these thunderstorms start to fire up, just to scattered thunderstorms. As it's moved into northwest Arkansas, that's when we're starting to see these really start to blow up and creating a lot of rain and a lot of lightning strikes along with that as well. Our wind gusts are starting to die down now, but earlier we've seen these storms capable of producing some pretty hefty wind gusts. Right now we're starting to see that wind start to die down. We could see a few gusty winds across this front edge right here. But again, we're seeing this wind start to die down just a bit. That's why they're dropping it below that severe level for the Fort Smith area. We saw those warnings start to creep in closer and closer to the Fort Smith area, but now we're just starting to see potential another downpour across Fort Smith. Yesterday, we saw record-breaking numbers across Fort Smith, 4.5 inches of rain. So with another system moving in today, that's why our main concern for today is potentially those isolated flooding incidents. This storm moving in is going to be affecting Poto at about 11:45, Panama, Charleston. Again, we're going to see the storm continue to push through, and even though the wind gusts are dying down, that's not really our main concern right now. Our main concern is the amount of rainfall that's going to be coming out of these systems. With as much rainfall as we saw yesterday and the day before, again, we're just adding on top of that. We're taking a look at those eye cameras earlier and just seeing those river levels continue to rise up and up and up. We haven't seen them really reach that severe level yet, but they're continuing to rise. Those water levels are really high. Taking a look across Fayetteville right now, we're just soaked. We're just soaking wet. And we're seeing a lot of these road conditions across Fort Smith, not really pouring there right now, but it's coming. We're going to see another downpour across Fort Smith today. So if you are traveling, we're getting close to the lunch hour here pretty soon. You're going to want to bring an umbrella. You're going to want to stay safe on those roads. And we've been saying it all morning, and this is the phrase that meteorologists say all the time: turn around and don't drown. That means if you get to an area where you see those high water levels, especially across the road, it's best just to turn around and not try to drive straight through it. So we're going to see some high water levels today across most, we're actually...
That camera's not set right. I don't know what that was.
We're again across Fayetteville right now. We're just seeing just the amount of rain that's fallen already today, and we'll continue to see lightning strikes for today. But again, they're below their severe limit for right now.
Check this out, Stephen. This is a live look over that bridge.
Wow. Just so this is.
I'll change the thing in a second.
Yeah, we're seeing the bridge right now, and we've been looking at this water level all day. Now, again, it's not really reaching up to the bridge, nowhere close really, but we're continuing to see this rise because of several days in a row of that rain, and that's why we've seen stories coming in about those isolated flooding incidents in several neighborhoods and stuff. So again, right here on the bridge across the Arkansas River, we're seeing that water level start to rise, and they're getting a downpour right now. And this is going to continue. Again, we talked about them dropping below their severe limits for right now. But again, those rain totals is what we're mainly concerned about. Matt, if you want to pull up that radar, just once again, we can kind of bounce around at the different systems that we're seeing right now. We've seen about 3 different ones that I want to talk about. First one across Fort Smith right now, that's bringing that flash flood warning just north of Fort Smith. Now, right behind it, though, moving into Tulsa, that's going to be our next round of rain moving into northwest Arkansas in the next coming hours. Our third round that we're looking at, look at the amount of lightning that's being produced just east of Oklahoma City. We're seeing severe thunderstorm warnings starting to get close into eastern Oklahoma, just north of McAllister, and we're seeing a lot of lightning strikes. So these storms still are holding on to their potential severe risk over the next couple of hours. And this area across Poto and Waldron, we haven't really seen much today. So if this continues to track where it's tracking into Poto and Waldron, we could see a few more severe thunderstorm warnings as we continue on throughout the rest of the day today. Again, we're still not even into the afternoon yet. We're just now getting to those daytime high temperatures, and when those temperatures start to climb up just a bit, even though we're seeing plenty of cloud coverage, that's when we could potentially see some severe thunderstorm warnings still to come in the river valley. Now, northwest Arkansas, we're not really seeing much right now. We're just seeing a really heavy downpour. We could see a few more lightning strikes, especially south of Fayetteville. But, you know, this other cell that we're watching up here, tracking across, just moving past Tulsa right now, moving across I-44. That's going to move into northwest Arkansas in the coming hours, and we could see it blow up again. We saw these scattered thunderstorms early this morning that turned in from nothing to ended up being tracking all the way down to Johnson and then Clarksville, and we saw it turn into a severe thunderstorm warning right at the end of our show this morning. So as it tracks into northwest Arkansas, it's going to continue to build. You can see that line actually starting to connect right there with Tulsa. So this line could actually even impact potentially the river valley here in a couple hours. But again, we're still a few hours away from that. Again, Fayetteville, we're looking at 110, 115. Rogers just before 1. So we've still got a while to go on this cell back here. But those are our three main cells that we're looking at. Again, our main concern right now is that one tracking across just north of Fort Smith right now, eventually going to get into the Fort Smith area, because we do have that flash flood warning right now for both the River Valley and northwest Arkansas.
Looks like we've got a new flash flood warning that's now including Fort Smith Van Buren. So this would include eastern Sequoyah County, northern LaFleur County, northern Sebastian County, and southern Crawford County. The reason why is we've already picked up a couple inches of rain the past couple of days right over Fort Smith and Van Buren. In fact, we hit that rainfall record yesterday, but now we're probably going to be adding another inch or so with the amount of water that's coming in with this particular storm right now. I'm going to go ahead and bring up some of our radar estimates on this rainfall. I've got to probably back it up to the past 2 days really quick, but we've already seen a lot of water anywhere from about Fayetteville southbound really into the mountains and into parts of the river valley. So if we go ahead and make this the past couple of days, this rainfall, let me turn it back just a touch. Let's do past 2 days. Take a look at this. This shows you where we've had all this rain. And this is why when you get a storm popping up anywhere over Van Buren, Fort Smith, Salisaw, north into Mountainburg and Winslow, you automatically almost have to go with a flash flood warning, because we already picked up a lot of water. Just kind of doing a couple rainfall estimates. Just over the past couple of days, we're getting close now to 6 inches of water over the past 2 days in Fort Smith. You head into Sequoyah County. I mean, there are places where we've already picked up a half foot of rain the past two and a half days or so, and then right along the Arkansas River bottoms, we're close to 7-8 inches of water. And then in northern LaFleur County, we've had estimations between 5 to 7 inches of water. And then in Johnson County, we've also been hit pretty hard. We've also had a little bit over a half foot of rain just over the past 2 days. And now we've got more of these storms coming in. So I'm going to send it back to the radar. I want to take a look at, we'll kind of do a quick county by county look. Benton County right now, we've got some good downpours that are pushing through Rogers and Lowell. These are headed south and east into parts of the northern half of Springdale. Sonora, War Eagle, we're kind of next. Prairie Creek there on the southwest side of Beaver Lake, we've got a lot of heavy rain. There's been a slight uptick in some of the hail, or not the hail pockets, the lightning pockets as they track through parts of Benton County. But this storm is not severe. It's just a good downpour for us. But it's already starting to lighten up on the west side towards Bentonville and Centerton, Decatur, Gravette, Gentry, and Salem Springs. But like we were mentioning earlier, there's this good storm that's now, looks like it's picking up speed a little bit there towards Claremore, Owasso. That's near the airport in Tulsa, and now it's going to be tracking along Highway 412 right towards northwest Arkansas, probably arriving in another 2 hours or so. So we may not be done. We may have to continue a little bit into the early afternoon with more storm coverage. We'll have to see on that one. But another line of rain is likely to hit northwest Arkansas in the next hour or two. So if you're trying to plan out your afternoon and your lunch break, more rain is on the way. Looks like we've got
severe thunderstorm watch.
Yes, new severe thunderstorm watch. Let me go ahead and turn off the clouds so we'll be able to see it a little bit better. You see where that's been issued now. So we have that severe thunderstorm watch that's already been in effect for Franklin County, Sebastian County, Leflore County, Haskell County, and Latimer counties. The reason why we have all these all these watches towards the south right now on the floor and Poteau and back towards Bocoshe is because we have these monster storms that are off towards the west that really hit Oklahoma City earlier today. And now they're not tracking so much just south, but also kind of due east. Look at Lamar. This is headed right over Lake Eufaula, headed towards Crowder and McAllister. We've got a good storm. We'll see if this one can keep its strength. A lot of times when they start bending like this, they may eventually weaken. But right now, it's a healthy storm with a lot of lightning coming through. They're just west of Quinton and Eufaula. This could be headed towards Haskell County in the next 45 minutes to an hour. We'll see how that one evolves. Otherwise, we have more of these complexes of heavy rain and some lightning and some thunder and some small pockets of hail. I'll show you some of the hail pockets that we have right at the moment. Looks like we have a little bit of the hail reporting in southeastern Crawford County, Mulberry, Dyer, Kibler. They're on the north side of the Arkansas River bottoms. We've got a little bit of small hail. You could get about pea-sized hail. There have also been, looks like some radar estimations of some pea-sized hail in around Fort Smith. You got a pocket there right next to the river bottoms west of Arcoma headed towards Moffett. We have another one that's on the southeast side of Fort Smith as you're headed towards Barling and the north end of Fort Chaffee. But right now, it looks like the largest hail, which is still not very large at this moment. We've got more of that pea-sized hail coming into southeastern Sebastian County, southeastern Crawford County, headed right along the Arkansas River. So if you live in Cecil and Vesta and Pleasant View, Riverdale, Peter Pender, Meg, Etna, and maybe even the Ozark area. Don't be surprised if, as this rain comes in, it can also bring some small pockets of hail. Another pocket of hail with that storm out towards the west, all that blue right there, that's Lake Eufaula. We have it coming into the western shores near Hanna and Canadian and Crowder. That would be crossing over 69, but that'll be headed towards Haskell County here momentarily. Let's go ahead and bring up the winds again. We continue to watch the winds weaken a bit, but we're still getting a lot of heavy rain pushing through Fort Smith and Van Buren, and then now headed south and east. Greenwood, we're next. The rain is just now crossing right over 71, headed right past towards Greenwood and the Riley Farms area. We're getting some of that heavy rain. Barling, Lavaca, Bloomer, we have some of the rain too. I'm going to reduce the time just over the past 15 minutes. There we go. But Stephen, we're continuing to watch these storms dive south and east. It looks like that flash flood warning goes all the way up into the Logan County line, where Logan County's already picked up, some good rain today. We picked up rain the past couple of days. I'm going to bring out the tracker. I'll let you track where this is headed next.
Yeah, so I mean, we've seen these flash flood warnings plenty, really. If you look farther out west across Oklahoma City, they originally started out as those severe thunderstorm warnings, and as that rain just continued to pour and pour, we saw those severe thunderstorm warnings start to die off, and now they're just being replaced with those flash flood warnings, and we'll continue to see a heavy amount of rainfall for it today. Again, Charleston, Paris, Boonville, all the way down to Delaware. We're going to continue to see this heavy rain continue to move through over the next hour or so right now. Delaware, you're looking about 12, 15. So, we're going to continue to track this heavy amount of rain moving through. But our biggest concern really right now is this new flash flood warning, because it includes the River Valley and Fort Smith area. Like we've talked about several times, how the past several days have just been enormous amounts of rain. Yesterday, a record-breaking day for rain for Fort Smith, as they got over 4.5 inches of rain. So now that another system is moving in, it's just going to add on to that total that we've already seen the past couple of days. I know Matt's pulling up those estimated rainfall numbers right now, but all these pinks and reds and purples, that's the heaviest amount that we've seen just north of Sallisaw. I mean, downpour the other day. We got close to 8 inches of rain we saw over the past 48 hours. Fort Smith, I know we got a lot of rain just yesterday, and then up in Winslow and just south of Stillwell, these are several inches of rain. So if your home or your street is used to flooding, it's time to take those precautions, because we're not done with the rain for today. And heading throughout the rest of the week, we're tracking these storms right now, but rain chances remain in the forecast for, again, tomorrow and then again on Friday. We're not done with those rain chances until we get to the weekend. So this is, we've had some potential severe weather with these severe thunderstorm warnings starting to pop up. And man, that bright white lightning core, there's a lot of lightning that's moving in just to eastern Oklahoma right now. And frankly, the Fort Smith area is still seeing quite a bit amount of lightning, but that flash flood warning is being issued because of all the previous rain that we've seen the past couple of days. And now with another one, that's why we're starting to see these flash flood warnings start to light up across the river valley. So just bouncing over to, like we were talking about, Oklahoma City, just south of it. All of these used to be severe thunderstorm warnings. We actually saw some rotation just a few hours ago that produced a few tornado warnings. That rotation has now died off, and those severe thunderstorm warnings have been replaced by all these flash flood warnings because of just the amount of rainfall that's coming down. And we're seeing that these winds are dying down as well, so it's starting to slow up, which means these rain pockets, these heavy pockets of rain are going to be just sitting over these areas for longer. And if those rain pockets aren't dying, that's when we'll continue to see those flash flood warnings start to pop up, start to accumulate. I mean, Poto, we haven't really seen much for today, but I mean, it's about to come tracking in, and we're going to see a good amount of rainfall here in the next time. You'll pull out that time tracker for Poto, and I know it's going to be a while for these Oklahoma City storms to get here, but
let me get the estimation on the speed really quick. So I'm just looking at the severe thunderstorm warning.
Right.
That's for McIntosh County and northwestern Pittsburgh County. This thing's moving about 45 miles per hour towards the east. So let me update the latest on the track. 45, and we're pretty much moving due east now. It's kind of made that turn. But Stephen, here you go. Here's about 45 miles per hour, roughly to the east. Of course, these things speed up and slow down a little bit, but this is our best guess.
But I mean, we're still looking at a little bit over an hour until Poto. So I mean, when this storm continues to track in, it's just going to sit and sit and sit and just continue to pour all that rain down. So Poto, not only are you going to get clipped by this system that's moving south of Oklahoma City, but the one that's moving through Fort Smith right now, it's starting to just move out just a further bit out west, and that's going to come through Poto as well. So we've got two different cells really coming to colliding point here pretty soon in the next couple of hours. That's going to result in even more rainfall. I mean, we're talking about this precipitation rate almost close to 1.5 inches per hour. This is heavy amounts of rain. So if you're traveling today, again, going out for lunch, you could go doing errands, whatever you're doing this morning or heading into this afternoon now, you want to take it slow on those roads, especially if you're going on country roads or back roads or something like that and not staying on those interstates. Those are the roads that are going to be have greater potential for those floodings, those low-lying areas. If you know of specific areas that are low-lying, you want to try to avoid those areas for the rest of the afternoon today, because when these storms continue to just track over, even if they stay below their severe limits, it's just going to be a downpour, Matt.
For sure. So I will do a quick recap, almost county by county, and then we're going to wrap coverage up as we continue to watch strong thunderstorms. We don't have a severe thunderstorm warning in our neck of the woods at this moment, but just a quick heads up as we wrap up. Benton County, the rain is slowly ending. We've got a good pocket of heavy rain over Beaver Lake, especially on the south end towards Hickory Creek and War Eagle. We're watching more storms back off towards the north and west. These could come in close to about an hour and a half or so. So just after the lunch hour, we could be getting some of this heavy rain. Same story for Washington County. We've got heavier rain now crossing into Madison. So if you live just towards Elkins, it's starting to end in Elkins and Goshen. The rain's coming to an end. There's still a good pocket in Springdale right now. But overall, we're slowly wrapping things up in Washington County before another line comes in back towards the west, towards northeast Oklahoma. They're coming in from Tulsa. So that line will also come in a little bit after the lunch hour, too. Madison County, the rain's about to pick up a little bit more for us as we watch that little batch of some heavier pockets of showers come in from Durham and Elkins and War Eagle. And Carroll County, we also have kind of the same. We're getting clipped by some of that light to moderate rain at times too. In the River Valley, we've got this good storm. It used to be severe. Now it's not severe anymore. The severe warning was issued mainly for the wind, and the wind has died down a bit. We're still getting probably about 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts, so it's still breezy. But the biggest threat right now is that flooding rain as we just pick up more water in places that we don't need it. But this storm is headed right into Franklin County right now. Charleston, we're about to get blown through with this storm. You head anywhere along 22, 23 Branch, we're about to get some of that heavy rain, Peter Pender. Johnson County, we're kind of going to get clipped by this one. I think the heaviest rain should be towards our south on the other side of the Arkansas River, closer to Shoal Creek and Paris and Subiaco. Logan County, we're good, although then we got a good downpour right over Paris. That's just one downpour, and then you see what's headed coming in the next 30 minutes or so. More heavy rain headed towards Mount Magazine and Boonville, Blue Mountain, Driggs, Coxville, Shoal Creek, and Subiaco. In Sebastian County, of course, Fort Smith, the heavy rain just continues to fall. We picked up over a half foot of rain this week so far, and more of that rain is really hitting us over Fort Chaffee, Lavaca, Bloomer, and Greenwood. This is all headed south and east along 71, so if you live in Midland and Dayton and Mansfield, be on the lookout for heavy rain in the next 20 minutes or so. In Sequoia County, we're wrapping up heavy rain in Sallisaw, but we've got to keep our eyes also towards the west. We're not done today as more heavy rain moves in. The heaviest rain is now out of Sallisaw, but it's really hitting us in Muldrow and Roland and Moffett, Fort Smith. Of course, we're still getting the heavy rain in Crawford County. We've got a quick break right now in Van Buren, but heavy rain could be moving in at any time as we watch more of these bands just towards our south. And same thing over Cedarville and Natural Dam and Uniontown. The rain's starting to lighten up. We may get more of the storms back off towards the north and west. You see them blowing up towards Lake Tenkiller right now. We could get more here in the next hour or so. In LaFleur County, heaviest rain is staying north of Shady Point and Panama towards the power plant. Spiro getting that heavy rain. Spiro, we've picked up over a half foot of rain this week as well. Poto, the rain's a little bit lighter, but when you look west, we've got more rain coming in. And then Scott County, we are mostly good at the moment. We got a couple little downpours there in the western portions of the county towards Oliver and Blansett, Brawley getting some of that rain. Waldron, we could get clipped, but then we also got to keep our eyes back off towards the north, towards that next storm that's hitting right in the heart of the River Valley. So the two areas to watch, like Stephen was mentioning, we've got storms near Tulsa. Those are crossing just north and east of Owasso towards Claremore. These are coming in at us. They're not severe, but they could bring a lot of heavy rain and more lightning. Could they uptick? We'll see. We've already worked the atmosphere a little bit over in these spots, so we'll see. But we're still getting a lot of pop-up downpours coming in from northeast Oklahoma, so we're not done yet. I think once this line passes on through, look at all the clear skies that we have back towards northern Oklahoma and Kansas. So I think we probably have another 2 hours to go, at least 2 to 3 hours to go of these pop-up downpours, and then we should try to wrap up things the rest of the day. The other complex we've been watching is all these leftover storms coming in from Oklahoma City. This storm's already starting to show some signs of weakening, but it's a good, healthy downpour that's moving right over Lake Eufaula and headed towards our counties in Latimer County and Haskell County. So we've got more weather to go today. At least we're in a low-end severe threat. The biggest threat, though, is that flooding rain. We picked up a lot of water, and a lot of us don't need more water, at least for this week. But eventually we'll start to dry out, I think, this weekend and next week. We'll have more updates coming up in your 5 News at noon. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up coverage. We appreciate your time. Make sure you keep it local, keep it here. As always, we'll keep you advised.